What up, you watching personalized tube? Isn't YouTube the most amazing invention of your lifetime? I mean, I think it may be the most amazing invention of my lifetime. I grew up watching bullshit television and just whatever was on, that's what I had to see. And now, whatever your interest is, you could find it on YouTube. It's pretty amazing. Let's jump into David's game. We got a different opening. We got a King's Gambit on our hands. Classic opening, hundreds of years old. David takes, and why not? Knight f3 is a move. g5 is also a move, defending the pawn, making white work for it. h4, g4, and knight g5. And here David actually could have won a piece with h6. Obviously in openings like this where your king's super exposed, winning a piece is not going to be as good as just winning a piece cleanly without all these weaknesses, but here white has nothing better than to take, king takes, and after bishop c4, I imagine king e8 is okay, but even better is actually sacking a pawn here, and now going to king e8, and yes, we've lost a pawn, but um, we're ready to develop all our pieces, and our king is not really that exposed. I mean, both bishops, both knights, and the queen are all um, attacking, and by playing d5, we also defend this pawn. So it's a little, and by a little I mean a lot, more difficult for the white queen to come attack us. And this should be winning with perfect play. So that would have been a cool resource for David to find if he gets into this situation again. h6 is the move. But knight f6 is still seems to give black some advantage. e5, queen e7. I noticed David did not berserk this game, so he had the full 10 minutes, and it definitely shows in the opening. He played better than usual. Knight h5 with some ideas of this fork. So the knight comes back, and let's see. Here d5 was played. I guess David wanted to attack this knight and defends this pawn here, but better would have been knight c6, just threatening to win this pawn. And after maybe taking it with the queen, play d5, trade queens, and white's got an extra 2 pawns, and maybe even a lead in development. And now here, if white goes in for this, he's just losing because we're hitting the knight and we're hitting the queen. And this would be a blunder because white can't take back. So that's why knight c6 would have been a better move. After d5, white is able to win both his pawns back. So black just gave up 2 pawns. Still, surprisingly, black is better here. And after king d7, I suppose the idea of I'm not really actually sure. Why is king d7 so much better than excuse me, why is king d7 so much better than king d8? Oh, it's obvious. Now the king has to take, so this pawn doesn't fall. Yeah. Now, if this, you can safely take with the bishop, and yeah, the knight may be trapped actually. Yeah, definitely. This is So that's a nice subtlety. I mean, the King's Gambit, I imagine it's a lot of fun to play from both sides, because as white you get to attack, and that's fun, and as black you get to hunker down and hope to emerge with extra material, which in my eyes is even more fun. I mean, it's a very satisfying thing to have your opponent try to mercilessly attack you and just coolly and calmly defend, and then all of a sudden he's left struggling, material down when the smoke clears. It's just cool. It's like being jumped by a gang, and somehow you manage to beat up some of them and evade the rest of them, and they're left scrambling as if from Bruce Lee. So anyway, king d7 would have been a better move. After king d8 and queen takes queen, the king has to take, blocking the dark squared bishop. Excuse me. Knight takes bishop, and then king runs up the board. Uh, I would think to play back and win this knight back right away. You'll see in the game, black didn't win this knight at all, which is unfortunate. So I would run back to trap that knight. Although after king f6, um, the knight has no moves besides to take this pawn. But king is rather exposed here. For example, and it's recommending b3 with bishop b7 threat. And according to the engine, the best move is to come back here, probably to interpose with f pawn. And yeah, this is just looking a little shaky. But instead, white plays d4, which should give David some relief because there's no dark squared bishop going to attack his king anytime soon. And here knight c6 would be good, just winning the knight next move. But instead, David plays a suspicious move, bishop to b4 check. And after c6, he only has one move to save the game. So pause your video if you'd like. Moving the bishop, as David did, is the losing move, because now the knight escapes, as happened in the game. So the best move is rook takes knight. And now the point is, if white recaptures, black will capture the bishop, checking the king and keeping material equality with a better game, actually, because of this nice 4-2 kingside majority. This kind of reminds me of the queenside majority I mentioned in 3 videos ago in a C3 Sicilian game that you can get on the queen side. I really like endgames, queenless endgames with these pawn majorities. It's just fun. I mean, getting a queen is fun. So instead, David brought the bishop back, but now white emerges a piece up. And yeah, after another blunder, knight g3, he's losing this pawn. Okay, he's getting the rook in the corner, but now his knight is the one that's trapped, and white is attacking with all his pieces. And yeah, this is just a losing position. So interesting opening. David could have won a piece right off the bizat with h6 on move 5. That would have been cool. And he would have had to defend accurately to maintain his advantage, but it is an advantage. And another critical moment was here. King d8 was a mistake because it forced us to take back the queen with the king after the queen trade. So king d7 would have maintained an advantage for black. And then the only other critical position was after this check, we have to take this knight now and depend on this tactic on the undefended dark squared bishop of whites to help us maintain an advantage, or at least equality. But black should have never gotten into this mess because he should have just come back and attacked the knight right away. So hope you learned something out of this game, from this game. I found it fun. I'm actually enjoying David's opening variety. He definitely has more opening variety than me. And, you know, I don't play double king's pawn, so I don't get to experience the king's gambit and stuff like that, and the Grunfeld. So I'm looking forward to analyzing more of David's games and learning more about these openings, even though I don't play them myself. So hope you enjoyed this as well. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. There will be dozens and dozens more videos in this series. I hope we can get to analyzing my friend's game number 200 by the end of this year. And I hope by that point David is into the 18 and 1900s. And who knows, maybe if I get lazy he'll even get above my rating, and then that will motivate me further. That's what friends are for. Thanks for watching. Take care.